All right. So today in Go with the Flow podcast, we have CJ from AiSports. We met in Denver about a month ago as Flow scholars from the Flow Foundation. And I actually would like to hear so much about you. I know you founded a couple of companies before AiSports, and you actually are a Cadence developer, something I really appreciate. It's not something you'll find a lot out there, and I actually respect and recognize that in you. So I feel like this is gonna be a fun conversation. This is gonna be interesting. How are you today?
For sure. For sure. Yeah, no, thanks for having me. It's a long time coming, I know. You don't meet too many cadence developers, especially not ones that don't work at Flow. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
definitely,
So
definitely.
but yeah, man, I'm good. I'm good. I just moved into a new place. I'm in Chicago, but I've been in the city of Chicago for like 6 months now. But we had to move to a new apartment in Chicago. So we just moved in yesterday. So I'm just kind of
Where were you
getting
before?
set up. I was closer to downtown in a neighborhood called Logan Square.
No, but before Chicago, like where were you before?
Oh, Asia. So
You
we
were in
did,
Asia?
yeah,
What?
yeah, yeah. We were in Asia. We were in Seoul, Seoul for a month, and then like 3 weeks in Japan after that. So we were in Asia for almost 2 months.
Dude, everybody I've met in Denver, well, not everybody, but I've met a lot of people that keep telling me, "Oh, I spent 5 months in Japan. I spent a year in
Yeah,
Japan," and I like,
yeah.
okay, guys, this is a thing. I want to do that too.
Have you not been to Asia? Have you ever been to Asia
I've
before?
never been to Asia.
Dude, oh my gosh, you have to go. But there
Yeah.
are so many good countries. Like Japan is great, South Korea is great. Thailand, Vietnam's amazing. Like, yeah, there's just so much. And it's really it's cheap. It's like so
Yeah.
cost effective. You can be there for so long and you can eat out every single day and it's only a couple dollars for a meal. So, and everything's really tasty. So I'd recommend it at some point. Yeah, you got
I'll
to go. It's
definitely
easy to live there.
I'll definitely do Japan first or something along those lines.
For
South
sure.
Korea could be.
Yeah.
But I feel like Tokyo and Kyoto and just like the culture around it in Japan. Like I watch anime, I read mangas. So
Oh, nice.
for me, it would be like another level too, like connecting with that kid from high school.
For
you know?
sure. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's much more part of the culture over there, like all the anime stuff and everything. It's everywhere. I mean, Tokyo kind of feels like that, where you're walking down and it's just like manga and anime like in your face, and everything has that kind of like vibe to it. But it's cool. I think there's a lot of like culture and stuff that comes out of Tokyo that we see in the U.S. So yeah, I would definitely recommend like just Japan. If you start with Japan, you can't go wrong. It's really cool. And the train system, I fucking love the train system
The
there.
technology, bro. I
Dude,
saw
it's
that they
so
have
great. Oh
like on the street, they have like a building that is underground, and you just put your bike in it, and it takes your bike and it stores it and like automatically.
yeah,
Crazy. And in
yeah, that
China,
is
they have like these AI cars, like
yeah,
electric cars, and the rider is an AI machine that actually talks to you. And then when it goes to charge, you think it's gonna be like a Tesla. Oh, it's gonna charge. You're gonna plug it for like half an hour or something. No, it just
yeah.
takes the battery out and puts a new battery in, and that's it. You can keep driving.
That's awesome.
That's how
Like
it should be, right?
I know. Yeah, and I really want. I mean, I do really want to go to China. I see a lot. I've never been. I've been to Hong Kong, which is now a part of China, and I've been to Macau, which is also an island that's owned by China. But I have never been to like Beijing or like any mainland. And I don't know. I see a lot of stuff on TikTok that just shows like how technologically advanced they are, and I'm like, okay, I kind of want to go
That
see
was
what that's about because it looks pretty tight, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. All the level one cities, tier one cities.
Yeah,
But that's the crazy part of it. Like at least I think it happened to most of the people in American Western culture that they had like this vision. Sorry, I'm like rolling a joint right here.
yeah, yeah. Go
That
ahead. Yeah,
like this vision of China being like this oppressive nation. You cannot you don't have anything over there, right? and then
yeah,
and then they take TikTok down in the US for like a week, and everybody has to move to this new app, red face or something like that, red note.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
um
yeah,
that is basically another is another TikTok, but it's not banned or whatever. And it's mainly for the Chinese population, right? So a bunch of American influencers migrated from TikTok to this new app, and they
yeah.
found out that China is totally different from what they expected. And
Yeah, yeah,
the Chinese population found out that America is exactly as they presented, you know,
yeah,
just as dumb
yeah,
and stupid. It's like,
yeah.
wow. I mean, we live in the
That's
matrix,
crazy.
man. This is the matrix.
I know. I mean, seriously, yeah, all the time you spend online, like that is what it is. Like yeah, we definitely live less like in physical, spend more time in virtual worlds, I think, than sometimes physical worlds. Hopefully not, but I would say my time is like probably like 30 to 40% of my like waking hours. I'm actually like plugged into doing something, working on the computer, socializing, Twitter, Instagram, just doing stuff for AI sports. Like it's all. I mean, it's all just like on screen, you know. So
Yeah.
that is the matrix in a way.
Yeah. I feel like I personally I've spent most of my life in front of a screen because my dad used to repair computers and take them home to repair and all of that. And so I
Yeah.
always had a computer in my house.
Oh, that's cool.
I always had like a console, like a PlayStation. I had
Yeah.
all, and so I've always been, as a kid, that's like a huge, distraction. Is a huge coping skill sometimes,
For sure.
to escape reality and stuff. So just like I've always been good with computers. I've always been good with like screens and stuff. So for me, it's like I'm kind of trying to move away from it, and that's why I moved from Miami because it's hard to be like present in Miami because the environment is just like so chaotic and
Yeah.
hostile. Um, but yeah, I I'm trying to be more like no screens for an hour at least a day or something like that, or half an hour,
Yeah.
which is like very hard.
Yeah. I mean, it is hard. It is hard because, like, even if I go to the gym, I'm looking at my phone because I use an app to like log all my stuff. So it's like I'm kind of on my phone. And of course, I'm gonna like be looking at socials and stuff too, but I try not to. But yeah, it is kind of hard to find some time. But yeah, I think I had so my dad was in IT, so like I also had computers around my house all the time. We were like he was always like we had the internet like earlier probably than most families because he was an IT, he knew how to like set it all up. So I feel like that does have an effect
Yeah.
on you. Yeah, as a kid, for sure. That's like a good observation. Because like yeah, I always had computers too. I kind of knew how to use them. They're always around the house. Like we had internet early. I remember like messing around with cable. And my dad was trying to get slick and cut off the internet to my room, and I like had to figure out okay, like this is an hour. So I figured it out quick, dude. Like within a week, I just would plug my shit back in when he
That's
unplugged me.
so cool.
Yeah.
I remember like one of the first things I did in a computer was playing this Disney game. It was like based on the Lion King. And it was just like
Yeah.
narrative game that you go through the story and you click buttons and they say things, and it's like from the 90s,
Yeah.
a very old game. But I've I don't know. I've come to a point where I've realized and understood that it's not normal for most people. Like even people our age, like in the 30s, I feel like sometimes they don't get things as quickly when it comes to computers,
Yeah.
or technology in general. Um, and I feel like for the most time I didn't see that. I felt like, oh, everybody knows how to, just click window, just click the browser, just do
Yeah.
this, and it's not as easy for everybody.
Yeah, I think like I mean just like the more crypto crowd, I feel like they kind of know more about computers because like you got to like to
You
figure
have
out
to.
all that shit, you have to know a little bit
You
because this
have to
shit
know.
especially from years ago like it always broke. It still breaks all the time. You got
I
to
mean,
kind of know like okay, how to mess with that stuff a little bit. You can't just be completely naive to it.
yeah, the crypto world people are super technical, I mean, it's the mass majority of the daily users are very crypto savvy. Do you study computer science? Did you go to college for it?
Yeah, I did computer engineering. So I did electrical. Well, it was like electrical engineering was the kind of like the overarching thing, but then you had like you could choose which one. So I went on the computer side because I didn't really like the other side of it was like circuits and stuff, and like I didn't really know circuits that well. But like
Right.
I took a lot of computer science in high school. I took three
Okay.
years of computer science in high school, and so I was just learning Java. Like I had a good teacher, and like I didn't even really like care about it too much. But my teacher was like, "Dude, you're good at this. Like just keep. You could keep like taking the class, or like more than once. Like there's computer science, it just became computer science too, and he just gave you like harder things to work on.
Yeah.
And so I did that because he kept and it was a K level class, so I got extra like points, you know. So like I was like, and then I got EVAs. The dude liked me, so I also got a freaking my Letterman jacket. So I played football. And do you know a Letterman jacket? Like you get them when you're a varsity at any sport.
Okay. No,
Have
I
you
don't
heard of
know.
that before? It's like an
No.
American high school thing. It's like
Cultural
a
thing.
big,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, it's like a big jacket that you get
I
if you're on a
think I probably
varsity.
seen it in movies.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely movies like Varsity Blues, like anything
Yeah.
with varsity, and then you get your varsity
Yeah.
Letterman jacket.
Yeah. Okay.
So this dude was like my computer science teacher because I did a few computer science competitions, and he was like, "Dude, if you want to get a letter jacket, like I'll give you a letter jacket." But like I wasn't good at football. I was not near varsity. I was like, just whatever my sophomore team was or whatever. So I came into school, I got it. I'm like, all right, dude, I'll get a Letterman jacket. And I put football patches and track patches on the Letterman jacket. And it just said comp sci like right here, really small. And I just came in, everyone's like, dude, where did you get that Letterman jacket? And it was because computer science, because the teacher like really liked me and he was cool. He was like, whatever, dude, this is
That's
just I
so
don't care.
that's so
So
fucking cool.
I did it for 3 years because it was like just a chill. I liked it. I mean, obviously I like computer science, but it was like such a chill class. And then when I got to college and I got to doing like electrical engineering, just the programming classes were just way easy for me because like I had just done all that, and they were learning like basic. You got to learn the basics to programming,
Yeah.
C, and I just knew like all the basic stuff, and that was just enough to like give me like better grades in those classes because I just knew, and nobody else understood. Like the thing is, like all the smart electrical engineering kids, they go and take a data structures class and they just get freaking crushed. But like,
I remember that in college. That was like the subject that people were like, oh, now you know, now you're into
yeah,
computers, right? Now
yeah,
you're actually
yeah,
programming data structure. That is the subject.
yeah, yeah,
And a
yeah.
lot of people don't pass it. Like a lot of people flunk it.
I know. It was like I didn't. I mean, I thought it was like a little bit hard for sure, but like I did fine. Like I don't know, like an A or a B. But a lot of people were just like yeah, doing really bad. I think I did actually really good because they graded on a curve, so I was like on the upper side of the curve, even if I did shitty on the test. Where did you did? So I guess so. Where'd you go to school?
I went to a university in Venezuela called La Universidad Metropolitana, Metropolitan University. I study computer science, but I mean, I I I wasn't the best student
Yeah, yeah,
ever in
yeah,
anything.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I, the first 3 years, I think I mostly just hang out, and I didn't even
yeah,
tell my parents that I wasn't getting good grades. I was
yeah,
like just going to school to chill, and I did math, chemistry, physics, calculus, all of those. And then I went into computer. We started with C, we're learning
yeah.
C, and then we passed to data structures. And I actually was gonna stop the career. Like I wanted to switch to a more humanitarian career.
Oh, okay.
There was something called liberal studies, which
Yeah,
basically was like a mix of languages, politics, and public relationships, or something like that.
yeah,
But that was in 2016, 17. Venezuela just started like having huge political problems. Trump had like a pass on like a huge tariff on the Venezuelan oil exportations. So the inflation was like 100,000%.
that's crazy. Wow,
And and
that's insane.
yeah, and there were riots. There was a lot of protests. It was very hard to be on the street because you could just be walking to the university, and all of a sudden there was a tank on the street, getting and people throwing Molotov and stuff. So I basically left the country in
Yeah.
2017. I moved to Argentina,
Oh, okay.
and I didn't continue to study the career. I basically stopped.
Yeah.
When I moved to the US from Argentina, I I did a boot camp, and a very intense boot camp. It was like for 3 months, 6 days a week, 10 days an hour. Hopefully,
Yeah.
I had a girlfriend who did the favor of taking care of basically all the bills and everything while I study 6 days a week. Um, and I learned, React,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
Node.js,
Nice.
databases, cloud structure, like everything. I learned React in like 2 days,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
was like super intensive. And I basically came out as a full stack developer. Actually didn't finish that either. I'm not very good at finishing stuff.
Yeah. Oh, so you didn't even finish the program?
No, it was a 3 months program, and I left at the second month because I already had found a job. Uh,
Oh, nice. Well, shit. I mean, then no reason to finish it.
Yeah, right. So I actually found a job as a front end developer for a small startup that was building on Cardano. They had like a
Oh, okay.
they had a project called Charity Token. Basically, it was a like a token to support kids schools in Africa,
Yeah.
and you can kind of use it to track their progress or whatever. They hired me to make their front end website, the landing page, basically,
Wow, that's amazing.
and I did a terrible job. I was like, it was like it's my worst job so far because
Really?
what I didn't know is that I'm a front end developer, but not a web designer, and I had
Yeah,
taken a
yeah,
job
yeah,
of being like, oh yes, I'll
yeah,
get you the
yeah.
front end developer, bro. I'll make you something super cool. And I sent him like 3 examples, and he was like, bro, all of these are shit. What are you doing? And I'm like, you know what? I think you need a web designer, and then
Yeah, yeah,
I'll put that in code.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So is that what they did?
Yeah, that's what we did in the
Nice.
end. After
That's
I
funny.
after
Because it is hard. I mean, especially back then, like it's harder to like put together a nice like you front end UI. I mean, it's easier these days with the AI tools, but
oh
like
man, yeah,
yeah,
I
I was scared like when I mean yeah, I was never great. I built my first original UIs, but I used templates from Material UI, and they weren't that great. They were fine, but then I when I got a grant, I hired a front end a designer and a front end developer, and I just did all like the I mean, I did all the React, I mean, basically everything else, but at least she did the HTML and all the CSS and stuff. Because that's the stuff I'm not really good at. I don't really know too much. I'm better at like the actual just mechanics with like all of like databases and all that shit and how
yeah,
it all
the
works
logic.
together. Yeah, the logic. So that helps a lot. But now, dude, with AI, like I can spin up something decently
Yeah,
nice, pretty like in
definitely.
it like instantly. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, and
So
I'm building something with AI right now, but even without AI, CSS right now as a programming language is super strong. Like
yeah. Oh yeah.
they just roll out like some updates on CSS that make your website responsive super easily with just like some variables. Like CSS is getting super good now. I mean, it
Wow, I
always
didn't
has
even
been,
know.
always has been.
I didn't even know they were like still developing on CSS. I thought it was just like a thing that
Everything,
happened.
but everything is on
Yeah,
CSS.
yeah,
Everything.
it makes sense. It
I
makes sense.
mean,
Yeah,
it's in the
that's good.
at the lower level. Everything is CSS when it comes to website.
Yeah, yeah. I noticed that a lot of the AIs use Tailwind. Well, the Next.js AI that I used, and I've used a little bit of Tailwind.
I mean, Tailwind
Um,
is based on CSS. It's
it
Tailwind
is, yeah.
CSS.
I feel like it's much closer to CSS than
Right.
Material UI, which is what I use, which is more just like blocks that you kind of like
Right.
plug in. So.
Yeah. What's the first language you learn, or which is your favorite language actually?
That's tough. Honestly, I don't know. Like the first language I learned easy is Java in high school, which is like it was good. It's a good middle ground because like it's not as hard. C is like it's like super low level, but
Yeah.
Java is like it is still kind of low level. It's definitely more low level than like JavaScript for sure. But it was a good one to learn. Then I went into sales right after when I left college, so I didn't even do any kind of engineering or anything like that. And I did sales for TI, Texas Instruments, selling semiconductors in Silicon Valley. And like, so I lived in San Francisco. I lived in the Bay Area for like 9 years, and I
Wow.
did sales for it. So I didn't do anything technical that whole time. Um, but I wanted to build I always had like, dreams like to start my own startup. So I left my job, and my buddy built me this thing called this app called Local Friend that was going to connect locals and travelers.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, technically it was horrible. Like it started breaking, so I had to start fixing it. So he had done it in React and JavaScript, and so when I came back in, I really started learning React and JavaScript. JavaScript is super easy. I just did two courses on Code Academy, and I pretty much was like, okay, I can get it. And yeah, I like React. I mean, I would say I like using it. It's easy to use. Like,
Yeah.
so I would say it could be my favorite, but honestly, I do really like programming on Cadence right now because like I just figured it out and I do feel like I mean, I'm not even shilling it. Like I just really like, it's like a new form of something of a way to program. And once you get decent at it, once you understand it, it's like, okay, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
I,
I will say I like Cadence right now for
I
sure.
think I think for me my favorite is Cadence, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, I could say that too. Like, I like coding it. It's pretty one. It took a little bit for me to get like all the types and stuff, and still not probably the best. It took me a little bit to figure it out, but um, yeah, once you get kind of the structure of it, it's like, okay, this is cool, and it makes sense. You know, it makes sense of moving assets and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah. I,
yeah,
I
so
I I like it a lot. I like Cadence a lot. I feel like it's way easier than Solidity. I feel like what I like the most about Cadence is how the extension, how useful the extension is, like how it handles errors in VS Code so much. Like anything that is out of place, it points it out, and you're like, and you put the thing in, you know what's wrong, and you can fix it quickly. It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's very hard to make mistakes.
For sure. Yeah, yeah. It's like it's like heavily typed. So like yeah, it catches it in the beginning more. And that's way different than like a JavaScript, you know. So but yeah, that is cool. And it's kind of like, yeah, you can kind of like, you can be kind of certain that way if you can get the code to just compile that like it's gonna do something that's probably close to what you want it to do. I still have, yeah, typically I still have to debug a little bit more, but at least it's pretty close.
Yeah. How do
So
you how do you start in the blockchain space exactly?
oh, so yeah, I don't know. I was just, oh no, really, actually, those Coinbase, like things I used to like, you could earn, you could earn if you just learn about it. And I'm like, okay, like I really didn't even care about crypto at all. I was just like, oh, I can earn $10 to just do this little tutorial. And then, uh, I was doing those, and I learned about Compound. Have you heard about Compound? The a DeFi platform. It's just a DeFi platform where you can just earn interest. It's like really similar to Aave. I was getting like, I had saved up a lot, like a decent amount of money to leave my job and like start my business.
Okay.
So I had like some capital, like just some dollars, you know, that I had saved that were earning like zero interest. It was like so bad. Like this is like 2019, 2020. So the interest rates were like really, really low. So like my high yield savings was getting like, you know, 0.5% or something. And then I saw when I learned on like Compound and with DeFi, I could start getting like 10%. And if you start getting into crypto stuff, you can get like 15, 20% APY. I was like, oh, I want to like utilize that instead, you
What
know?
year was that?
Okay, this was actually it was 2021. It was 2021.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So it was after like kind of like it was during the big like NFT boom. So that
Right.
probably helped it too, because I was like seeing that stuff happening.
Right.
So yeah, and then I just started listening to like all the crypto podcasts. So, but then yeah, so then I got in crypto, but I had already launched the first version of AiSports, which was just an AI prediction for NBA, like DFS, daily fantasy, which is already a game that exists with you know, basically fantasy sports casinos, you know,
Okay.
like FanDuel and DraftKings have daily fantasy sports, and I just had an AI algorithm that predicted which players were going to score the most points on any given day. So
Wow.
I had launched that at the site in 2021, and it had a few subscribers. I wasn't making a ton of money on it,
Was that
but
based
like,
on Top Shop?
no, this was like totally different. It was just recommendations for DFS.
Oh.
Um, I had built that because I was playing I like to play fantasy basketball, and I was just seeing if I could like, okay, maybe I can log into the Yahoo API, and like then I found out that Google has this AI platform where if you send it a lot of data, you can create an AI algorithm. And so that it's called Vertex AI, and
Wait,
it's pretty
this
big.
is what, back in 21?
This was in 21, yeah. So it wasn't even
Damn.
Vertex AI at this point. It wasn't. It was like not a big feature. Like I found it,
Wow.
and it
That's
was called
crazy.
Open something. Yeah, it was called Open something. And so I just plugged into that, and that's what I did. I went through and analyzed like all these basketball players, like 5 years, every single player, every single game. It was like 300,000 lines of code or of, you know, database data, and you just feed it to Google, and you just say train on this column, basically like train on column Y, which was like how many fantasy points that they scored on that day, and they train that thing for like typically 12 hours, and so you just wait all night, and then in the next day it'll give you like, okay, here's a here's like basically an endpoint you can use, and you can feed it the data and it'll give you the prediction. So they gave me like
Wow.
an algorithm. So that's what I was using. That's what I was using. And it was kind of working pretty well. So I launched it as a subscription service where you just pay like $10 a month. I forget what it was, something like that, $10 a month, and you get access to all the fantasy data. So we had a few
Well,
subscribers, but
that's a
like,
great idea. So you always had like all this idea around sports and using data. Uh, like, was that the first thing you founded?
no, well, the first thing I founded was Local Friend, but that was what my friend built. So but that was the founder. Like, so with Local Friend, did I get a designer? No, I designed Local Friend, the first version by myself. And then I think at some point I did get a designer. But anyways, I had my friend Dave build it. Like, I literally paid him because I was making pretty good money in Silicon Valley. So I was just like, bro, I'll pay you to make this app. And he did it. He took like kind of a long time and it worked a little bit. When I left my job, it worked, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go all in on this thing. Um, but yeah, the tech was not. It was pretty shitty,
Wait, you
to
built
be
it because
honest.
you wanted to leave your job?
Yeah, because I wanted to leave my job. I was saving my money, and I was gonna leave my job and like run off and do this startup. And so I did. I left my job in 2019, and I started Local Friend. But then in 2020, the COVID virus hit, and I was like, then travel was just gone. It was a travel app to try to connect travelers and locals when you go to a city.
That is the
And
saddest story.
yeah, and then COVID happened. Yeah,
I launched a travel app in 2019, left
yeah,
my job to
yeah.
work on it. 2020, COVID hits.
True. That
Dude,
is,
that is
that is true.
sad.
Yeah. It is sad, but like the tech wasn't really working too well. I was like trying to make it go, so it was kind of a good thing for me. I was just like cut it off, and I had randomly got this other job in the travel industry. I was managing a tour company, so I wasn't actually doing. Well, I was actually doing some tours, but we were giving tours to Gap employees who were thinking about moving to San Francisco, and they would drive us around in like a black car, and we just show them like some different neighborhoods and stuff. So I was working for them. I was managing this company, so I was getting a check from them every month. Like by that afforded me like the job with the tour company, and then I could kind of live. And then I was just like kind of messing around to start AI Sports because I was playing fantasy sports, and then I just kind of went down this rabbit hole. But I was doing, I mean, I was always trying to think about what I was going to launch next, but I was doing okay with the tour company. So it was cool because AI Sports was just kind of a passion project at the beginning. But then at a certain point, I'm like, all right, I need to like figure out how. Once I got all the AI algorithms, I was like, okay, I was getting actual predictive scores, and I was like, it was working to an extent. I'm like, okay, I think I can make this an actual
Yeah.
platform, and I need to try to make money somehow. So that's what happened. But then I got into Web3. I got into Web3, and I was like, maybe I can make just a DFS in Web3. I took a demo to ETH Denver in 2022 because my brother lives in Denver. So I'm like, I'm going to go check it out. And then I
Cool.
got a $50,000 grant from Harmony Protocol to build AI Sports. So just from that demo,
Dude,
yeah.
wow. Dude, ETH Denver is such a great opportunity to make connections and relationships like that. I saw it happen so much. It's like very impressive, very crazy.
Yeah, there is. There's always been something that comes from that. I think that kind of like keeps me in the game. So, so then that's when I built my first version of AI Sports on Harmony, which is an EVM chain. But then Harmony got hacked for $100 million, a bridge hack, and all their value of their coin went to shit. USDC went to
Holy
shit.
shit.
Yeah, and I'd only received 20K so far in my grant because it was like by steps, by
By
milestones.
yeah, by milestone.
Yeah, and I had received 20K, but like I had kept it in the Harmony coin, and it went to shit. It ended up being
No
worth like three.
way.
Yeah.
No, brother.
Yeah.
What are you
I know,
telling
I know.
me?
Well, that was my first
What
time.
is this story?
Yeah,
It's like a series of unfortunate events
yeah, that's
that
true.
led you to flow, I guess. I hope that you're
Yeah,
just
that's
going with the
true.
flow
No,
here.
no, exactly. So that's what happened. So I was just so I like I told myself I was at least going to launch it. It worked. I had launched the thing. So I was like thinking about what chains maybe I'll move it to, and at least I was going to like try it out and launch it in the next year. But then yeah, Dapper reached out to me, um, about like, hey, do you
Hey,
want to build? Do you want
They
to
reach
build?
out to you.
Yeah, so there's this guy in Ecos who was on the ecosystem team. He left like shortly after, but he reached out to me, and he must have been like, I don't know, because I wasn't really into Top Shot that much, to be honest. Like I didn't know too. I had heard about it for sure, but I had like not really even probably done any kind of onboarding. And yeah, he just reached out to me and he was like, "Do you want to like come and build on Flow, and we'll give you a grant to do that, to like move it over, and we'll give you like prizes to give away, $50,000 of Dapper credit to give away in my first year." And
Wow.
so yeah, which was crazy because like now we don't get anything close to that. Like they've tightened up a lot, and this was kind of like in the peak of like the craze, you know.
When was this? 2023, 22,
Two, yeah, 22.
22?
Yeah, the summer of 22. Yeah. But yeah, so I gave away, and so when I launched, I had a lot of people because there was
Who
the
was
Top Shot
that?
community.
Sorry, who was the person from the grants?
Eric
Eric.
Eric
Oh.
Chauvin, but he left like 3 months after that. After like it was like December that he left. I don't know. I haven't heard from him since then. But he was yeah, he was a great guy. He was like, let's do it. Like, and he made the deal happen like so fast. So yeah, man. So that's how I got on Flow. That was like 3 years ago. So I've just been on it ever since, which is cool because like I still have like the community. Like people still play. You know, I have a couple hundred players who play every day, and like I like building it. I like launching stuff. So yeah, it's been cool.
Bro, that's a great story. I mean, overall, I feel like at least you find people that see the vision, that share the vision with you and willing to, put a stake on it, and different ecosystems. Like what you really like is basketball, right? Or sports in general,
Yeah,
and you just have a passion for it, and it just that drives you to have ideas to do things that also benefit you financially, but at the same time, it's so passionate that you probably don't feel like it's work. So
yeah,
you
yeah.
just do it because you like it, and that I feel like people see that, and that's why they offer these opportunities.
For sure. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I think what you building, you start to get a reputation in the industry after a while, which is nice. So like for me, especially with Flow, like they know me, and I'm sure you're the same way probably. Like I just know a lot of them now, so it's really cool, and like you have a good relationship with people, and that, I feel like yeah, that helps a lot. Over time, it helps a lot to like have a good relationship across the industry.
Yeah.
So how did you start? So wait, how did you start building on Flow?
I started I so there was this company called Pineapple Workshop. Uh it was like a service company located here in Denver. They basically were like offering website services like, oh, we will build this website for you, or this server, or this blockchain app. That was one of the things they did, and they were looking for Solidity developers, right? And someone from the team reached out to me on LinkedIn, offering me the position for Solidity, and I went through, like 5 interviews and a technical one at the end. So, and one of the interviews was with the CTO, and he was building on Gaia Marketplace, which was
Oh.
an NFT marketplace on Flow.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't think they're running anymore. Something happened,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
and but they were not running on Gaia. They were not their own Gaia team. They were just building the marketplace for them, right?
Got it. Yeah,
Um, so yeah, so he was learning Cadence. He knew Cadence, right? So he was building this using Cadence. And I think the Gaia had a Dapper wallet integration, and he was just like commenting like, Cadence is great, but working with Dapper can be a bit of a pain.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
um, but since he kind of basically told me that they were very few Cadence developers. Like there were people looking for Cadence developers. People,
yeah, yeah,
some there's money looking to build
yeah,
stuff on
yeah,
Flow,
yeah,
and they need
yeah,
Cadence developers, and they are not. That's what
yeah.
basically what he told me in that after that interview. He was interviewing me, but at the end of it, I asked him questions, and he gave me that information in the end. Anyway,
That's awesome.
so I was like, oh really? They're looking for Cadence developers. So I went the Emerald Academy, which is Jacob Tucker, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And I basically did all of the courses in like a week. Um, a- Actually, like before finishing my interview process with the people, I've already finished the Emerald Academy, and I had like it has a certificate and stuff. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
posted that certificate on the Flow Discord, on the developer Discord and stuff. And I showed it to these people who were hiring. In the end, they didn't hire me; they hired somebody else. Uh,
Yeah.
but someone from the Flow Discord was building another NFT marketplace. But this was called Empyrean, and it was meant for soccer teams in the US, in the UK. Sorry, like
Yeah, yeah.
like soccer teams over there, like Manchester's and Arsenal and all of this. Um, and they were looking to do it on Flow because it's a sports blockchain. And they were looking for Cadence developer, and somebody just out of nowhere sent me an email, and basically saved my life because I needed a job
Yeah.
badly. I was
Yeah.
literally printing CVs to go out and find a job in a restaurant or a bar or
Oh,
whatever.
dang.
And I got this offer from this guy,
That's
um,
awesome.
who actually is like a great developer. Um, I, I forget his name, Vivian. He from the UK. He's like one of the top developers in UK. I saw him like on like on the document of whatever on the news. And great guy. He hired me to do the cadence stuff. Apparently he had hired like two other guys before me who did a terrible job. They were implementing an NFT marketplace like Solidity style. They literally
Oh,
had a marketplace smart contract, which you don't do on Cadence. You want to
yeah.
just use the storefront standard, right?
Yeah,
Totally
yeah.
different model. Anyway, that's how I started building on Flow.
That's crazy. Yeah, so it was like just in the nick of time.
Basically,
Wow. That's
yeah.
cool. That's cool. Yeah, that's good. That's awesome. Yeah. And then like have you had like multiple different projects? And you're working on something new now too, right?
That was in 2023 that I got this job with Vivian on Emporium around October, and then by December at the same time I actually got contact by somebody building like a certificate marketplace, not a marketplace, certificate website where uh you do a course kind of like Udemy and you get a certificate and it's on a smart contract, so it's like authentic. um they got a grant from Flow
Oh,
to
nice.
build this, and they needed a Cadence developer, and someone from the community called Julian Jules. He recommended me because
Wow,
I
that's
don't know.
awesome.
I think people just saw me on the Discord, asking questions all the time, like, "Hey, how do I do this? Hey, how do I do this? Hey, how do I do this?" Like for so long that they were like, "This guy is really learning, and he's really learning fast because he's like, asking so many questions in one day."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like we never
That's
seen someone so interested in cadence since
yeah.
Jacob Tucker or something like that. And so they recommended
That's
me without
hilarious.
me
That's
even knowing to
wow,
this
that's
project. And they reach out. And I guess that did that with Emporium now that I think about it.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. That's amazing.
maybe that's what happened.
That's
Uh,
wild. I mean, you can tell, like people in Discord who like are asking like real questions, and like you know they're in it building. Like you can see. And I'm sure this was earlier than I was in it.
yeah,
So
that was the same year you I guess you started AI Sports, if it was 2023. Uh,
2023.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
started
that's true.
around no, well, I already started learning cadence around August, September. But I actually started working in a project was around October. Yeah, not October. Yeah, October or November. Seems like it feels like a while ago.
It does. I mean, crypto, if you've been around for like a year or two, like, you've been in it. If you've been
Yeah.
in it since like the highs and then you're down here, like you've been in it.
Ever
You've
since
been in
I
it for a
entered
while.
crypto, it have only gone down.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
Okay.
I know. And I was like, there's like so many highs before here. There's gotta be another one at some
Not in
point.
my time.
Yeah.
That's why I don't
One
buy
day.
crypto. I not right now. I just build projects and raise money.
Yeah,
And
that's cool.
I don't I don't even know how to do it. I actually wanted to ask, I don't know, someone like, I actually wanted to ask you because you were talking about, you got into crypto because you were looking to get like a API, like yielding,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah,
like higher than banks, I guess.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe you can teach me some about it because
yeah.
I also
Are you
want to.
not doing any like right even right now at
I
all?
don't do
You're
any of
like,
that. I don't do
oh
any of
wow,
that.
like yeah, I would.
I did stable kitty. Like I
Okay,
put
good,
like
good.
$20 in stable
Oh,
kitty.
$20 now. I mean, you could put like some significant, if you got some
I don't
savings or
trust it. I
something.
didn't trust
I
it. I
know.
was
Okay,
like, am
okay.
I gonna lose these $20?
I
Because
know. I know.
it says in the top, they have a disclaimer, something like, oh, this is like beta version, be mindful. Like, what do you
Yeah,
mean? I'm
I
giving you
know. I
money.
know. Yeah, yeah, I know. That's true. But they did get audited. I don't know if like I hope StableKey was included, but I saw a tweet that they got their contracts audited by some like legit companies. I trust them. I mean, Flow works like that. That's like Flow's like primary DeFi platform. But yeah, I mean, you gotta do it to your risk tolerance. I know that yeah, something could happen. Something could
So
happen.
20 is too low. What should I be putting to start?
What do you? I mean, what do you have?
Everything that you have, put it on there right now.
No, I mean it's all about like your risk tolerance and like your financial like I don't know like what you want. Like honestly, for my cash, I have like maybe about half of my cash right now. Yeah. But then I have like other assets, like I have stocks and stuff, and that's been the primary of what I have. Crypto is just like kind of like side. But yeah, but cash I only keep like enough to have a safety in case I need anything. So I took. I mean, but this has just been growing. It's also been growing over the last few years. So at
Yeah.
first I took 10K. I put 10K in, but this is when I started doing DeFi yields, and I didn't really understand exactly how those worked because I started with yields. Yields are just really simple. You put it in, you get an APY back for your coin. And then I started getting into liquidity pools, which are like in decentralized in like an exchange, how you like exchange coins. There's two big pools of coins, and when you exchange it, like it pulls from one pool and takes from the other one or whatever.
Okay.
And you can get a higher APY by providing liquidity into these pools.
Okay.
But what I didn't really think about was that the pools when they shift your balance of so you get more. So at first I was putting USD and ETH and thinking, oh, my USD is going to stay USD. I'm not going to have to worry about that.
Huh.
As ETH goes lower, the value it exchanges like your value goes. It does kind of put a damper because you're also not losing as much ETH, but your 10K may not be worth 10K. But the nice thing about StableKitty is it's two USD coins.
Right.
It's USDF, which is backed by PYUSD, which is PayPal's USD coin.
Yeah.
So that should be pretty safe.
Oh,
PayPal.
USD Flow, that was from PayPal on
Yeah,
Cadence.
USD Flow is basically just a wrapped version of PayPal USD. It's basically the
Wow, I
exact
didn't
same
know
thing.
that.
It works
Wow.
yeah, yeah. So and PayPal USD is connected to like they're doing a hackathon right now,
PayPal?
building yeah, 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 but it's only
Really?
15K. Yeah, I just saw it. I saw it this
What?
morning on Twitter.
I
Yeah,
want
with
to look
Google.
that up. I
You
want
should
that.
look it up. It's 15K.
Wow.
Look it up. If you're
I
like,
look
oh,
that
if you
up.
want to cook on something, I
Let's
mean,
cook on
it
something.
seems pretty
Yeah.
easy, honestly, to be honest. Like you just build like they had a few ideas on there, but it's 15K like when you've been to crypto grants though, you're like doesn't seem like too much. But maybe you can make a couple K off of
It's
it.
better than most.
Yeah.
I didn't appreciate my first hackathon. Was Peace from the first Flow hackathon.
Yeah.
We got 30Ks from it.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and I
Oh, 30K. You were Pete. I forgot. So you were with Peace. Or were you the only? Were there other people involved with Peace? I don't
yeah
know anything about it. I mean,
we
I knew it was a thing.
we
I
were
knew that.
four people.
Oh,
Sakshi,
okay.
she works did the front end development.
Yeah.
Heman, who's his Korot. He's right now with he just posted a picture with Ali on Twitter. Uh, he's on Taipei. He's front end and back end. He mostly handles like the Twitter logic and the bot
Yeah.
and the database. Rustin, she's he basically, this was his idea. He's the one that had the idea. He reached out to me, I think, or I reached out to him. I don't remember. But yeah, he has the idea, and he did the designs, the website designs, like the logo design. He did most of the user experience designs, all of that.
Yeah.
And me, I did the smart contracts, the backend too. Like mostly just like the blockchain interaction and some of the database and types, and the blockchain integration on the front end. That was all me. Um, Peace was amazing. Now that I think about it, 2 years from, like I said, I feel like I didn't appreciate nor the price, the money, or how much money it was back then, and I didn't appreciate how advanced Peace was. Like
Yeah, yeah.
it's only now that people are talking about account linking.
I know. Yeah, yeah. That's true. So yeah, yeah. So did you have like did the Peace account? It was like the hybrid. It's like you own their account and then you linked it to their. How did it work? You
So
linked it to their
basically,
Twitter account?
you log in with your Twitter account, right? And we create a wallet for you, like a flow account for you on the back
Yeah,
end.
yeah. Okay.
Uh, for that, I actually used a project that is open source. It's not updated. I'm actually paying somebody to update it because it's written in Golang. Um, and it's an account manager. It's called Flow. I'll send it to you. I don't remember right now what's the name
Yeah,
of the
yeah, yeah.
project. But basically, it's an account manager. It's a server. It's a Docker file, so you can just deploy it anywhere. Um, and what it does is it creates flow accounts for you automatically. It encrypts and saves the private keys wherever you want in any database. It's super easy to integrate in any database.
Nice.
And it runs transactions for them, so you can tell them to run uh, 10 transactions with this account, and it keeps tracks of the key sequence so the transactions don't fail. So you can sign 100 transactions with the same account in within 5 seconds, and stuff like that. So it's really advanced. It broke up when we updated to Crescendo. So
Yeah.
now I have a good friend of mine who's an expert with Golang, updating it.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah. So that's why Peace was so powerful, right? Because we create accounts for people based on their Twitter
Yeah, yeah. That's pretty
accounts.
cool.
We collect their NFTs for them, kind of like NBA Top Shot. It's only on our platform. But if you wanted to take your pieces NFTs out of the platform, you just claim them you connect with your wallet, and then you claim them.
You can just yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh. Yeah, yeah, I do remember kind of being like ahead of its time because you guys could like you could buy it on the site too, right? Or it was easier to buy the piece maybe
So
than other
yeah,
sites.
it's basically on Twitter. If you reply to a tweet, with you just tag the create a piece bot, and it replies with a link to a piece to a piece
Yeah.
website. We basically it's kind of like we took a screenshot of the tweet, and it's
Uh,
metadata, and
yeah,
and, and the image is the tweet, right? The
yeah.
tweet you're replying to, and it has all the metadata in it, and it's an NFT that you can buy for $2,
Okay, that's cool.
and
Yeah,
it's
yeah, I
open.
remember that.
Only open for 24 hours.
Oh, nice. And then people could buy it with what Dapper Wallet, like they would like do Dapper Wallet.
We had
Is
a
that what?
Stripe integration.
Oh, nice. That's what I remember. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty good. That's pretty good.
yeah. No, you pay
Oh,
with dollars with your credit card,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. I think that is good because then you get like everybody else. But yeah, I was okay. I did. I was do this actually brought you guys up because I've been playing this March Madness on Warpcast. Have you ever seen Warpcast or like heard of?
Kind of rings a bell, but I'm not sure.
They're like a Web3 social app um developed. Also, Farcaster is like a
I know of Podcaster.
okay, Farcaster. Yeah, it's like a social network
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
blockchain kind of thing. So Warpcast is built on Farcaster. It's like a
Oh,
social
WordCast,
network.
the app, right.
Yeah, yeah,
The
Warpcast. Yeah.
one you actually use to, yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, so you get on, and they have this one. It's called Bracky, and basically they give you. I've been playing for a while, so I've earned like at one point it was like $40 worth of their Bracky token, But then I won some on the Super Bowl. And the way you do it's pretty cool. They're kind of like stocks. Every team has like, I don't know, it's just like a stock. So you buy or sell the team based on if you think they're going to win and stuff like that. And so they've had that for like a year now. But usually it's online, like on a website, a web app. But this time for March Madness, they did it's all through their AI bot. And then so you can be like, put 200 shares on Houston because I want them to win. And then
Wow,
it'll have like a conversation. So I was asking it like, compared to Vegas odds, what are the cheapest prices of the teams that are still left in the tournament? And it's good. It like spits it all out, and it's like your allocation should be actually a little bit more here to this team. And I'm like, okay, do it for
dude.
me. And it just fucking did it. And I was like, I just tweeted about it. And I was like, this is like one of the best Web3 user like consumer experiences I've had like in a while. It's just so it's cool. I like it, especially as like a sports fan.
Eh,
And then
What's
and
the name
then I
again?
okay,
I'm taking notes on everything you're saying because I'm gonna look it up.
it's called Bracky. If you search on Twitter,
Bracky.
Bracky,
Oh, I find it
it'll
on Forecaster.
or Farcaster, yeah, or Farcaster or
Yeah,
Warpcast. I mean,
Warcaps. Yeah.
are you on Warpcast? Because I can add
I
you.
am. I actually am. I actually was starting to think of. Do I actually for a year, me and the peace team have been, and other people too. I've been trying to think about, I don't know, an app that we could build on Forecaster because they have these frames things. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I don't really use the app a lot, but
So frames is easy. Frames they're just web apps. You can build them like single page. I don't know if it needs to be single page. Just React apps that kind of plug in. I think
kind of
it's
like
pretty
Telegram
easy.
apps.
Kind of like Telegram apps. Yeah, I think maybe it's easier. Their marketing at least seems like it's easier to port over just like a web app. Because I would consider bringing AI Sports over to it, but it would be some work, and I don't know that I have the community over there. It's kind of they're very
I mean,
Web3 focused.
yeah, that's what I hear a lot. That it's so focused on Web3. It's kind of
Yeah.
I've been trying to think of ways of like what is the benefit they could offer to normal Web2 people, right? That they don't have already.
I know, yeah, I know. But this Bracky thing I think is pretty cool.
What's
And that
your
like
what's your
I think it's
forecaster?
AI Sports
AI
underscore
Sports.
GM. Yeah, it's probably underscore GM. No, it's just at AI Sports. Just at AI Sports.
Dr. C.
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. I'm a whole different person over there.
I'm following you now.
Yeah, I forgot. So I just kind of treat this as like a nothing account. I actually really like this little NFT I bought them. They were called fucking. They were literally nothing ever, but they were frogs. I forget what cryptodes, I think, and they were frogs that were shaped like NBA players or NBA players who were shaped as frogs. And I
Oh
bought
my
two of them
gosh.
for like $100. At the top, and they're worth nothing now. But I still use it. That little frog is my.
Dude, if I could build an AI
Hold on, let me show you. Yeah, these things, they're freaking hilarious. And they're all like little
So is
different
that is
NBA.
supposed to be a frog?
It's supposed to be a frog. It's an NBA player. So this is I think Flyry Irving or something. So
Okay.
they kind of make him look a little bit like the NBA player a little bit, but they make him shaped like a frog. But yeah, it was a pretty funny little NFT project, but they went nowhere. But that's what I still use. Honestly, the other day I was like, maybe I should update my Twitter, my personal Twitter, to be one of those frogs because I kind of just like the art.
So,
Um,
so how many of those you own?
just two of them. Yeah, no, I never got like super deep into like a lot of NFTs. I bought a few, but not like a lot. But okay, so what was that? I did want to say though. So then Dude Lifts responds on Twitter, and he was like, you should think about something like this for Peace, like what Peace used to do with account linking, and then like
What?
like
Wait,
like
what was
maybe
he
like
replying to?
my tweet. The only my tweet where so I tweeted about Bracky. I was like, this is one of the
Mm.
coolest kind
Oh
of
yeah,
like what the user
remember.
experiences that
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
seen.
yeah. Okay,
And
okay.
he was like, you should think about peace. And I was thinking about it a little bit, but I still haven't really wrapped my head. But it would be kind of like the overall idea would be kind of cool. Is like you could just log in with your Twitter or whatever, and then if you want to buy some like shares in these different sports teams, you would need to fund your account probably because I don't want to be giving people money.
Yeah.
And I would probably use Juice if I was to build it. I would probably use Juice, but people would need to buy it. But then, yeah, there's like a stock market for teams. But the way that Bracky does it, they just give away a bunch of fucking Bracky at the end. If your
Uh,
team wins and you have they give it just proportionally to
right,
how many shareholders are
right.
in there. So they
Interesting.
just give away a ton. Yeah, like I said, I haven't really wrapped my head around it, but
That's an
you just
interesting
mentioned
model.
peace. But I think just being able to log in and like transact somehow just with your Twitter, I think that's pretty cool.
Bro, you know what really killed peace? Now this podcast is gonna get political and problematic.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We can we
I'm
we can
gonna
say a
light
few
up
words.
my little green wheel here, bro. You know what actually fucked up the project for me was when it changed ownership.
Which project? Peace?
No, Twitter,
Oh, oh, I see, I see. Oh, yeah, yeah, true, true.
because
Yeah, I
the
don't know what this Twitter
API
is.
was so easy to work with, so cheap, and
Yeah,
you could do so much with it before that happened, before Elon Musk bought it and took over. Um,
yeah,
Bro, and after that, after he took over and he fired everybody and he changed the API price and made it like super expensive, like only premium people, only people with a lot of money now can actually have all the access to API stuff. And we didn't have the money for that, not for what we actually were doing. Um, so after that, since we couldn't pay it, our account was flagged like a bot a lot. So he could never really get the messages out anymore. So,
uh,
bro, it's just like can't
that
work on this
sucks.
platform anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Damn, yeah, I don't even know. I've never messed around with the Twitter API, but I can imagine. Yeah, I remember he put like a lot of like you had to pay for it more or something like that. I don't really know, but I remember there was
We
something
had
like
like
that.
I think we used to pay, I don't remember exactly, but it wasn't a lot of money. It was like a $200 at most
Yeah,
every month.
yeah, yeah,
And then after that, it went up to like, dude, it was like a stupid amount. Like the one that we
yeah.
needed was like 20,000 a month,
Yeah,
something
that's
like that.
insane. That's insane. But that is why Workcast is kind of cool. Like all the data, it's like blockchain data, so you can really easily work it. It's very the data is like super available, which is nice. And every player has an account already. They built a wallet into it now.
Yeah.
So like that's why things like that are possible on Workcast because everything is like so well integrated. And where it's probably not possible on Twitter because it's just such like a closed off
Yeah,
atmosphere.
we actually had this conversation within the peace team. Like we wanted to find a way to bring the Web2 community into Forecaster. Like what could Forecaster provide that they couldn't have on Twitter, and so we could move the people from Twitter to our Forecaster, right? So they could use peace on Forecaster instead of Twitter. Um, but we didn't. I don't know. The thing with Forecaster is that, well, like we mentioned before, it's too Web3 focused.
That's true. Yeah.
It's like like the 99% of the content is Web3. So
Yeah. Yeah.
first you have to like kind of like terraform the platform, you know,
Yeah.
to make it
That
inhabitable.
I know. No, that's true. Yeah, that's a
and
good
then
that's a good analogy actually.
and then you move the people
Yeah.
because otherwise it's not going to work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I found like I don't get good replies. I mean, I end up leaving because like I don't get like any reply. They're just not like to the community because I'm not doing like hardcore Web3 things. I want to talk
Yeah.
about like basketball and whatever books. But it's just like replies are hard to come by. I did build a mini app where you for the last NBA playoffs and you could pick the teams of who was going to win. And that was pretty cool. It was a lot more work. I tried to do it for the ETH hackathon, but I didn't get it done in time. But I
Mm.
finished it. It worked for the rest of the NBA season. But it's just like, yeah, we didn't get a ton of traction.
Yeah.
But so it's whatever, you know. So I just like
I mean, if you have an idea, I could look at it, man. I know people that would like to build stuff on Forecaster. Like they have hope for it because honestly, there's nothing else. Um, but I think they are. I feel like they're getting at it wrong. Like I feel like people want to build like this Web3 social media platform, but I don't feel like that's the idea. I feel like the idea is to build more community focused platforms. You don't want to be the next Facebook in the sense like, oh, now everybody's on Facebook and then now everybody's on Twitter and now everybody's on Instagram. You wanted to build things that are social platform but for a community specifically,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah, yeah,
they're big and scalable in case the community grows and grows and grows. But you don't want everybody to be there. So maybe that's why Farcaster is so Web3 focused. Maybe they want it to be like, oh, just Web3 stuff. But it's kind of like what I'm trying to build with the Venezuela community, right? Like I'm trying to put
yeah,
them on Telegram, on a Telegram app, and where they, learn about democracy and gain rewards by participating in it in that process. Um, and the thing that connects them is the Venezuelan culture, right? But
yeah,
now you have a platform that kind of becomes a hub for this a diaspora basically, and they're on chain, and they don't even need to know that they are on chain, right? And once you pull out that people on chain, you start offering them services like stable kitty or more markets, or if they are into sports, you take them to AI sports and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah.
So that's what I
Yeah, that's cool.
feel people should do.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like, I think there's a lot. I feel like I saw a lot of teams. East Denver is what I realized. Like, some of the best teams now are just from they're from all over the world, but they just have their hub, in whatever country. And they have a group of people there that are really good, and then the people who can come to like East Denver and make their face known, and they come to it, and like they're doing pretty well. I met this group from like I want to say Lithuania, really close to Poland, and they had built this mini app. They were right next to us at that event we went to with Dora Hacks.
Oh,
They were like
really?
the booth. Yeah, they're right next to us. They're about this game, and they're on Kaya. Have you heard of
What's
Kaya?
it what's the name of the
Uh,
game?
no, the app, the messaging app is called Kaya. It's like WhatsApp in Japan. It's like
Okay,
really big
okay,
in
okay,
Japan. They're the number one app on Kaya, and they're like
okay.
killing it. Yeah, they're like
Oh,
killing it, and they have a deal. They got paid a lot. Like so Kaya's. I think they have their own blockchain, and so they're integrated with the Kaya blockchain. They paid them a lot to be there, and they just like built this. It's a little mini game, but like crypto is pretty abstracted from the process, but it's used in the back end, and
yeah,
that's probably how more things need to be. But they're just like a little like Candy Crush type game, and they like you just play Candy. It's pretty cool. You do PvP Candy Crush, and you play against other people like with a timer going down. So it's a
yeah.
good game, but all the back end stuff is in crypto, and people just pay, and they don't even know that they're doing crypto in the back end, but it ends up getting
That's
transferred to
great. I'm gonna
crypto.
check that out. What's the name again? Dude, you're giving me all of these things that I gotta.
Yeah, I need to
Oh
tell you because it's like Elden Sword. It's like definitely a
no,
game.
what's the app or
Oh,
the
Kaya.
Kaya? It's just
Yeah.
Kaya.
K-A-I-A, I think. I don't even know if I follow them. I'm gonna like
IA.
K-A. Yeah, Kaya Chain right there. K-A-I-A.
Okay, I'm gonna get some water. Be right back.
Okay.
I think I cannot remember the people that were next to you, or next to on that flow over there at Dora Hacks.
Yeah, so this was the Elder.
Oh yeah, I remember this, dude. I
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
remember
yeah.
this. Wait, wait, wait. Show
They're
me again. Show me again.
Elder Glade. Right?
Elder Glade.
Elder
Oh,
Glade, yeah, I can.
Elder Glade. Cool. It's a game, dude. That looks cute as fuck.
It
You know
is,
that
yeah.
I have like a blockchain spirit animal that I feel like is like my lucky charm, because when
Yeah.
I believe in it, it works, and it's a fox. Like anything,
Really?
any NFT stuff that is kind of around foxes, I kind of
You
like.
like that?
I like that. There's this
That's
project
awesome.
on Solana called Fox Federation. Um, and they're been solid for years. I just recently checked them out on Magic Eden, and they're still holding the price. Like the price is
That's
still
amazing.
like good, like this, and I like wow, and the token is actually now worth money. Like I had like 2,000 tokens that I got. I don't even remember how, and it was
Yeah,
worth like $10, and it was like what? These
that's
guys are
amazing.
fucking killing it.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I'm gonna buy more NFTs from them. Actually, that's what I should do.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good Saturday activity.
Yeah,
Go
actually.
grab some NFTs.
Yeah, definitely. What's your
But
first
yeah,
NFT?
you probably never heard of the project. It was called Goats,
Oh,
but
goats.
no, Goats like
Oh,
Goatz.
okay, okay.
But Goats is also a sports thing. It's like, greatest of all time.
Okay.
It's a goat, like, so that's a sort of GOAT was capitalized because it was kind of stood for greatest of all time. That's like the GOAT.
Right.
Me in sports, like Jordan's the GOAT. So I just like their vision. You know, they're all about like, yeah, because you read the, you look at the website and they're like, yeah, we're all about like, just being great at our pursuits and all this stuff. And they were cool and the art's pretty cool. My NFT is still a GOAT on Discord, and it was a GOAT for a really long time on Twitter. But I wouldn't say I did like I'm not as into it now, so I'm not like, oh, I need to be.
Yeah.
Um,
I
but yeah,
definitely not.
I think they're still around a little bit. Their Twitter's still posting stuff, so
Yeah. That's good.
yeah,
That's great.
yeah,
I feel like
I
so
mean, that's
good when I
enough.
see a project that, it's still
Is it?
doing things.
Yeah, still doing
It
something.
wasn't a scam.
Yeah, yeah, they're still trying something.
Yeah, it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. I feel like I don't know if I have like survival guilt. I don't know, but there's so many I've known of so many projects that just like back in 2021, bro, they were doing stuff. I was in this project on Solana called um cyber pharmacy and it was based in California. Basically they had like a license to sell mushrooms and weed and not and medicine stuff. So basically they set up this like marketplace online, and if you had the NFT for the collection, you got a discount, like a big discount. If you pay using the token for the project, you also get a bigger discount and whatever. And
Yeah,
actually they did deliver like worldwide, you know.
yeah,
I since I had like one of the originals NFT or whatever, they gave people like credit, like for like $500 worth of credit for the marketplace, and I bought a bunch of gummies and shit that were super strong, manga. They were like
yeah.
50 milligrams per gummy,
Oh, shit.
and dude, they were nice. And then they went bankrupt. You know, they didn't sell enough. I don't know. People
Like,
didn't
that's
like, didn't, it's just a lot of stuff, bro. And the NFT got to a point that they were selling like for 4, 5 souls
yeah,
back in the day when it was like $200.
yeah.
And I had like 20 of them, and I didn't
Oh,
sell them
really?
because
Oh, shit.
I believed so badly in the project, bro. I was like, no, these are gonna go for 20,
Oh my God,
and
that's
I held
crazy.
them all,
Yeah.
dude. That's one of the things that I learned about life.
I mean, I feel like that if you're Web3 enough, you've round tripped something like that. You're like, I know this is going to go up, and then it goes down. I was like, oh no, damn.
Damn,
That's
man.
just like part of the process. But
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like that happens. So I mean, that happens to a lot of crypto companies. Is like you get a lot of money in the beginning, and like, what do? You have a successful NFT man, and then like you try to like keep going and raising capital if you can, but like
Do
eventually,
you
there's just
do
not that
you
many
need an
buyers anymore.
NFT? Do you need an NFT
Like a PF,
for whatever you're doing?
me,
No, no,
like
no, not you
personally.
personally. Like for raising money or for your project, or what is
Oh yeah.
like what at this point, like when I think about it, like now that we have like resource oriented programming like Cadence, do you really need to make your project a non-fungible token standard for it to
Yeah,
be
no, no.
like
My the escrow, I wrote an escrow contract on Cadence, and uh it does have resources that could be NFTs, but I didn't make them an NFT. I actually didn't even think about it until after I was finishing it. I was like, oh, these could be NFTs. They're just resources that represent they hold like the escrow, which is like it's for fantasy pots. So like, whenever everyone joins a fantasy league, they can pay. And
okay.
we use them for AI Sports too, of our daily contests. Because we have a paid daily contest. So we use this escrow that I built. And the basically the contest is like a resource, and it just holds all of the data, all the money, and all the data about the fantasy contest and everything, and it doesn't unlock until a certain date. So
Okay.
you set that depending on what the league is. So if it's a season log, you can set
This
it.
is
It's
Cadence,
super
right?
flexible. This is in Cadence, yeah. I should
Cool.
send it to you. I worked pretty hard on it, and it does a lot though. It's super flexible. So I use it for daily fantasy. I use it for season. I have it working for season long fantasy. I'm working on it for NBA Fast Break. I mean, I have it pretty much working. So then I had to build a contract on top of that
Right.
for my new contest, which was with NBA Fast Break, because I wanted it to read data on chain. So my new contract reads the NBA Fast Break data. I can tell when a user has joined an NBA Fast Break contest,
Okay.
and then I let them enter money in their Fast Break team.
Juice.
Yeah, well, it will be juice eventually. Right now it's flow. But
Okay.
I can just make it juice easily. But I want more people to play, and I think more people have flow than juice. But I think eventually I will switch it, and then I'll just do a transfer on the back end. If they want to play in flow, they can, and I'm just going to flip the juice. But I just want to get it out and have a lot of people pay for it. It's pretty much ready to go, but I'm having some issues with getting data from the blockchain from Fast Break.
Really?
So
Like what? In what sense? Like how are you getting?
there's been some issues. So Dapper was having their own issues because I was seeing for the Fastback V1 contract, because I was seeing a certain number of wins on the app, and then the wins that they were the way they do it. It's a struct with like each entry. It's called a submission, and then you can see if they've won or not. If there's like a variable that's like true or false, and Dapper's supposed to go in and set
Oh,
those up
wait.
after each contest
Wait, you have
for
to interact with
Fastback.
their API, not with their contract, or wait.
No, I do interact with their contract to get the status of the user's fast break entry, because that's all on chain. But when I like, they don't have any like what is the current everything has a fast break ID, and the
Uh-huh.
only way you can tell that fast break ID is because the fast break contract emits it in some block. And so then I go and I use flips like
Oh, you have to like surf for events.
You have to find events, yeah.
Right.
So then I had to go and use Flipside Crypto to see all the events, all these events that were emitted. I built that, and then I have it working in the back end every day.
What are you using for that? What are you using for that? Did you build it yourself? Like,
The
you know?
SQL, the Flipside Crypto script, or the Node.js, or all of it. Yes, I built it all.
Yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah, the answer
No,
is
but
yes. Yeah, yeah.
like the server that does search for the events on the blockchain.
No. That's Flipside Crypto.
Flip
That's
side
a
crypto.
flipsidecrypto.xyz. They do a bunch
Who's
of
that?
chains.
I'm gonna.
They're a company that does data for a bunch of chains, but it includes Flow. And it's you write an SQL query to query events on the blockchain. It makes it way easier to find events, because events, they're just emitted in a block. Like
You should use find APIs.
I looked on their API, but finding a specific, I think you need the block time too, which is I don't have the block idea of when it was admitted. I did look at find first. I couldn't get just the event. I just want to see the event, and I could search by the event, and I couldn't do that in find. I don't think. I definitely looked on their docs, and then I went to Flipside. They just do like I mean, they just record all the data, and then you can just search. You can just search through it, and then I just had ChatGPT build me an SQL script. So I was
Cool.
like, "This is what I want to do," because I could see what the table looked like. So I copied that over to ChatGPT, and I said I want an SQL script that does this, and then I ran it through the Flipside Crypto, and I was able to do it. So I could get all of those events that created it, and I could see when they were. Then I had to sort them by date to figure out which was the day that that fantasy game was on. But then
Cool.
then the second problem I ran into after Dapper, we fixed Dapper's issue of updating all of the wins on chain,
Mhm.
and then Flipside Crypto just fucking stops working. Like, and so
Really?
they've acknowledged it. They said they're looking into it right now.
But just with
Uh,
Flow specifically, or for every chain?
I don't know. It's probably not for every chain. No. It's just for this query. So I don't know if it's like
Just
just
for
this
this query.
contract, or if it's for all of Flow. Like, I have no
It's
idea.
just
I
with
just know.
Top Shop NBA.
Yeah, I know the fast break V1 contract is not. You're not catching those events, because I have the events now. I like show it to them. So then they're like, "Yeah, this is an issue. We'll get back to you." It's been like a few days. So eventually, it's like ready to go, man. My UI is ready to go. Everything is good. And my contract is working well, but I just need to get this data. So once I
Do
get,
you have a
eventually I'll
demo?
get it all.
Do you want to share the screen and show a demo or something?
I don't think I have a demo. I can show you. Let's see. I can show you just the homepage, but it doesn't even have a. I closed the contest. Let me see. Enter picture.
I think I
Okay,
can
let
allow
me
you.
see. All right, actually. I don't want to pull up my server online. You can't see my screen, right?
No,
Okay,
I,
yeah. I'm gonna just change one setting so you can see something. So I will I'll put my screen on after that. But I want to show you, like, right now I have the whole contest closed because it's just not
do you have
working.
like do you have like friends using your platform?
Friends? So like my friends, you have to be kind of like really into DFS to play like all the time, you know. So I
Right.
don't really have. I have friends who have played it, but you know, it's a most people are in it for the dapper rewards, to be
Right.
honest.
Oh, you get oh right because you have the 50,000 Dapper rewards. Right.
Yeah, well, that was the first year. Now we get 100 packs a week, which is pretty good. So I mean, I'm not mad about it. So we give away 100 packs a week. Um,
100 Top Shop packs, like, and you get moments out of them.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's pretty
So
cool.
everybody waits on that. All right, let me see if I can get this up for you real quick.
Can you share it, or do I have to
Yeah,
like give you
I think I
permission?
can share it.
Okay.
Oh no, it's not gonna work. Oh well.
It's not letting you share?
No, 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 no. Sorry, this is just it's no, it's my code I'm talking about. Because I
Oh.
thought if I just change this one variable, because I'll just share it with you so you can actually see what's going on. It's like the audio system and screen recording. I guess I have to allow Chrome. I just got this laptop, so
Mhm. It's okay. Take your time. I'm just gonna
uh,
edit this out. Don't worry about
nice,
it.
nice, nice, nice. Okay. Oops, I might get kicked out and put back on. But, all right, can I do this? Okay, okay, okay.
Oh, there
Can you
you go.
see it?
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
All right.
Okay.
Join the bold. Win fast
Yeah,
break and
so
receive prizes. So wait, so that you're building this on top. You have a smart contract that imports the fast break smart contract, or
yeah,
and
yeah.
it just gets its data. Okay.
Yeah, I wrote a smart contract on top, and then it calls my escrow, uses my escrow too, and
Okay.
I just interact through the smart contract. But yeah, so anyways, right here, enter the vaults. There'd be a contest typically, but I'm not running the contest because without being able to programmatically get the contest ID, I can't do anything. So I just
Right.
closed it. So there's usually some UI here. And you can enter, and it does all the stuff. It like checks if you have a linked account because you have to have a linked Dapper account.
Okay.
And then if you do, it checks that linked account to see if you have an NBA Top Shot fast break entry. And if you do, then you're allowed to enter the vault. But you can do as many entries as you want, but one entry is one flow. And so you can get up to like 50 entries if you want for 50 flow. And then at the end of the game, if you win, if you lose, you don't get anything. If you win, you split the pot with all the other winners, all the other people who won, but you get the percentage share that you know per entry basically see. So like if I had 60 and you had 40, then I would get 60% of the pot and you would get 40.
Hmm.
So that all works. That's all
Interesting.
built into the payout is all built into the contracts and everything. You can like look at it on chain and stuff.
And the user that connects to the platform, they're connected through their Dapper wallet.
Um yeah, so they do fast break on their Dapper wallet, but they have to have a linked Flow account because they
Mhm.
can't use their Flow on their Dapper wallet. So they need Flow to be able to interact with contracts like mine because you couldn't do this with the Dapper wallet. So they have to have a linked account to your Flow account, and I just use account linking, but I read and just to read to make sure that they have a linked account, and I can read what the linked account is, and then I can check that. So
Cool. That's a good
yeah,
way to circumvent the Dapper wallet because it's very they have a process to get transactions signed with them. It's not like you can just sign a custom Cadence transaction with a Dapper wallet.
I know. So that's what we had when we built Juice. I'll show you some other. Have you seen like other parts of my website? Have you seen my website at all?
I've seen it. Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay. I just
I
wanted to
haven't
show
done
it
any.
around.
I haven't bought anything, but I might buy some juice.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to like whatever if you want to. I'll send you some. Okay, so but do you know like the baseline of how it works, right? Is like you can win juice. So I'll just show you from the beginning real quick. We don't have to go
Sure,
through.
let's do it
We
from
don't
the
have to go
beginning.
through everything. But like this is the home page, right? And then you can go in, and so juiced up means you pay juice to actually enter the contest. So there's more prizes. There's more prizes than the other ones. It's actually the same because it's the weekend. I don't get that many people entering.
Okay.
So then you enter contests and you can go in here and like enter 12 is actually pretty good for a weekend. The other ones have a lot more. They're just the paid. Not many people do the paid. So here we have like 114.
Right.
and more people will enter into the thing, and then you build your team. I won't go through that because that takes a little bit of time. And then you can win juice, right? And with juice, you can mint the NFTs, and then these are our NFTs. So I made them with just AI generators over the years. So they're different seasons, and the earlier seasons have like you can tell like kind of the shittier generation, and because the AI image generation has just gotten so much better over the years.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
Does that
But
wait? How?
I have like old ones. Like you can tell this is old because it's kind of like really into it, you know. And that's a season one. But, yeah, so that's all on flow.
Wait, do you? How do you do with the? Oh, yeah, I like that one. I like that image.
This is
I
an old this is an old image actually from a very but I've had it on since the very beginning from the stable diffusion model that I was using.
I would I would get that one. But the with the players, is there any like copyright problems around that, or because
I
it's
mean,
AI?
yeah, I think it's AI generated, so it's like my own image, but I'm not big enough to really and no one's coming after me. You know? Maybe if I yeah, if I blow up, yeah, seriously. You're like, sorry, you're gonna have to change your. But in the beginning, the NFTs are like they still aren't very good. I'll try to show you. So you can mint with in-game juice, and then juice you can pull out into the blockchain because originally we have in-game juice, and still our Dapper users they can only play with in-game juice. But you can mint with juice on the blockchain, or you can mint with the juice NFT. Oops. But yeah, and then each one of these guys, they give you like a boost in the game. So like this guy's gonna
Right.
give you like a boost on your number 2 guard, right? So so they have like a little bit of like a feedback loop and stuff. Yeah, man, been building this over like like it's been years. Like I just keep adding shit to it. You know, Juice is like was last year, and then the escrows were this year, and like just it's just kind of fun to build out, just to keep building out.
I feel like I've been going like from app to app, trying out every little thing for the last, literally like the last month. Um, and I've been going like Stable Kitty, Kitty Punch, even the Crypto Kitty game. I went to more markets. I have yours on the list that I definitely have to check out. But I feel like it's gonna. I don't. I know myself, and I know that if I get into basketball stuff, and I get like actually start watching game, because I have a friend that is like a super sports friend, right?
Yeah,
We share our like passion for soccer. Like I don't watch football soccer games that much at all, but
yeah,
I watch like the World Cup and the Euro Cup, and like the last game I support Germany most of the time.
yeah. That's
um,
awesome.
but I feel like if I get into basketball, and if I understand all the things everybody's doing with fast break and AI sports, I'm gonna get like really into it, and I might do it.
Yeah,
I might actually do it. But I will
yeah,
definitely check out your website more and play with it.
yeah, yeah.
I definitely want some juice. I'll definitely get some.
Okay, yeah. If I don't send you something, remind me after this. Seriously, I'll give you a little bit of juice. I'll give you enough juice to like mint it. You can go, you'll mint an NFT, and I'll give you a little extra so you can just have some. But it's
Cool.
45 ounces of juice to mint an NFT, and you can do it on chain or you can do it in the game if you've earned that much juice. But yeah, I'll send
Cool.
you some. I'll send you some so
Cool.
you
Cool.
can mint one.
What's your favorite like platform out of Web3 actually? Like
That's my favorite platform. Like period. Like
Web2? Yeah, like
or
your
in any
like app. Oh, non Web3 app.
way. Oh, non Web3 app.
Exactly.
Oh, like what do I like to use right now? Like
Yeah.
other platform? I mean, I spend a lot of time on TikTok and YouTube.
You're using TikTok?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I like TikTok. Like more for entertainment, just like flipping through. I get a lot of like animal content, like just
Okay.
stupid, like stupid stuff, you know? Yeah, like a lot of like I
A
don't
bunch
know,
of
like
lions and hyenas attacking each other.
yeah, some of that. Sometimes like just cats acting like stupid. A lot of the like
Oh my God, I love those.
yeah, yeah, seriously. There's good stuff on TikTok. You don't use TikTok?
I don't know. I don't use TikTok. I use Instagram though, and I do get
Yeah.
like I love the cats one. I love one that is like they put the cameras on the cats, and then so you just see how fast the cat is moving all
Yeah,
over the
yeah,
place and everywhere. Dude, that's so cool. There's also this guy that puts the camera on a drone, and it's like going around the city bringing food to cats, and it's just like on the drone, and it records the cats eating the food.
yeah,
It's really cool.
yeah. That is that is cool. Is that on Instagram Reels?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's pretty similar content.
I mean, this
I
guy,
still look at Instagram.
they steal the ideas from each other.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, but what I don't really. I mean, I was gaming for a little bit. I have a Nintendo. I like that. I play that decent amount.
What
Oh,
do you
dude,
have?
recently. Oh, what games do I have? I have Zelda, Pikmin, a lot of like the just
Is that the Switch
Nintendo.
2? The new
No,
Switch?
just the originals. The
Okay.
Switch 2 just is coming out like in June, I think this June.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'm not gonna get. I don't play it enough to get an upgrade really.
I would love to get the Switch 2 actually.
Do you have a Switch?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
But I have friends who have it, and I've always wanted to have like go back to the roots. You know, I used to have my cousin used to have like a N64, and we
Yeah.
used to play so much on it, like Super Smash Bros,
Yeah. Yeah.
Agent X007, Golden
Yeah,
Hour,
that was a
whatever.
great game. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
like a
right, right,
yeah, that was a really good game. A lot of people played that a lot.
dude. That
Yeah, I
was
played
like,
a I played a lot of Nintendo growing up, so I
yeah.
really never kind of moved away. I mean, I did have an Xbox in like high school for a little bit. I guess I did that then. Maybe I did move away, but then like as soon as I came back, like I hadn't had a console for like years, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go get a Switch because I just want to play some games. So yeah, I played Zelda. Zelda was like really tight. It's like a really nice. Like, have you played like any of the new or old Zeldas? I
I
guess.
saw I stayed with somebody and they had a Nintendo Switch and they had Zelda. I think it's Breath of the Wild. Um,
Is that the? I think that's the most recent. Maybe that's the most recent one. I played the second most recent. No, no, Breath of the Wild is the one I played. Yeah, because Tears of the Kingdom came out after that. I haven't played that.
yeah, that was it, Breath of the Wild, and it was
Yeah,
good. Like, started playing it for like 2 hours, and I was like, no, I gotta
yeah,
stop this. I
that's what I
cannot
had.
lose my
Man.
life in this house, dude.
Dude, I've played like
Has that had ever happened to you that you will start playing a game, you're like afraid, like actually afraid of playing this game? You're like, no, this
yeah,
is too good. This is
yeah.
get away from me.
I don't know. I do get into games sometimes, and then I'll play for hours and
I do
hours.
get into games a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, not recent. Yes, recently I have gotten more into games,
which
but for
one?
um, right now I'm playing Monster Hunter Wild.
Okay,
Dude,
I never heard of that one.
what?
No.
It's on Switch. It's
Oh,
on,
okay. Oh, really?
yeah, you can get it on
Monster
Switch.
Hunter Wild. Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna Google it.
dude, it's so addictive, man. It's so amazing. I love it.
That's
Um,
awesome.
it's actually something that I use. It's like it's from Capcom. They have
Oh,
made this. It's a franchise that they have continued for like 20 years. I actually had it when I had a PlayStation 2, but the CD was like had like corrupted data, and so mid game, like in the middle of the story, it got
yeah.
stuck. You couldn't play
Oh,
anymore because the image just got stuck on that spot, and I could never finish the game. It was like I got so traumatized from it that I never played it again. I never bought any Monster Hunter game ever, even though I loved it. But and
my
now
God.
this came out, Monster Hunter Wilds, and everybody, lost their mind. I don't know if you heard about Asmongold. It's like a famous Twitch YouTuber streamers, like the top. Like he drops a video. He drops like 4 videos a day, and every video gets 4 million views or more
Oh my God, that's crazy.
every
That's
day.
crazy.
So that's how many followers he has. He actually had a fight with Elon Musk recently because Elon Musk kind of wanted to move him from Twitch to Twitter to stream on Twitter. But
Yeah.
as Mongol kind of was like responding to the replies on the DMs on Twitter, he said like, "Oh well, I gotta talk to my managers and my editors." And then Elon Musk like kind of didn't understand that, and he went on to say that Asmongold wasn't his own man. He had to talk to his manager. Did
Oh,
you see
maybe I
that?
saw something about that. I didn't really understand what it was about, but I did see like,
And then
well,
Elon Musk posted like the DMs, like the private
no
messages between
way.
him and Asmongold on
Oh
Twitter.
my
Dude,
God,
bro, it's just a whole thing.
that's crazy.
It was a
That's
whole
so
thing. So I don't even know why I told you this story, but
No, it's good.
oh
It's
yeah,
crazy.
he's been playing Monster Hunter Wild for like he has like a bunch of video recently because he's also super addicted to it recently
That's
because
crazy.
everybody, all the gamers, streamers are playing it. I mean, and
Maybe I'll have to check it out.
you have to check it out.
I'll look at. I got it. I got it in my tab here.
It's probably
But
gonna be on on Switch too, because for with like the better graphics.
yeah, the better version.
Yeah.
Anyways, man, I probably need to get headed out soon because I got my in-laws are coming in today. I got
All right. Really
yeah, in like an hour or so, or maybe less. I don't know. I gotta prepare a little bit.
sounds like you're gonna have some fun. It's gonna be a
Yeah, it should
fun
be
day.
fun. Yeah, it'll be fun. We'll probably go out to eat somewhere. We kind of moved into a new place in Chicago, so we don't know the area too well. So we'll
Is it
probably like,
cold over there?
it's like, yeah, I mean, today the high was, I think, like 52 or something like that. So it's not like horribly cold. I just went out like this, but it's chilly because it's not sunny. So it's like kind of dreary a little bit. So that makes it cold when it's windy and a little like wet, you know?
Right.
So yeah. Is it cold in Denver right now?
It is very cold today and it has been for this week, but next week I mean it's gonna get warmer. Right now it's like I have it on Celsius. Right now it's like 0 degree, which should be like
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cold. That's
it's
pretty
like
cold.
30 Fahrenheit, I think.
Damn. Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it's kind of freaking cold. I don't want to go out. It's snowing. It's fucking
That's
snowing, bro.
wild.
Yeah, it's
That's
snowing.
wild.
That's how cold it is.
Oh my God, that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy because it's definitely getting warmer here, so I can tell that it's spring. But if it was like that, it would just still feel like winter, pretty
But the
much.
weather app says that next week is gonna be like
Yeah,
on 80s.
yeah,
So
yeah. Denver flips pretty quick because
yeah,
they
because
just
it's
get the
fucking sunny and stuff. I like it.
yeah,
That's what I like about it a lot. It gets sunny. It's very beautiful most of the time.
yeah, yeah. I used to go like I pretty much only I've only been for East Denver, but my brother lives there, so if I ever come outside of East Denver, I'll let you know too.
You should come
Because
visit. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I should come by maybe. I could do maybe like end of the year, but I usually like at least get East Denver every year, so at least I
Did
can go
you
hang. I stay with my brother.
right? Did you meet Gio from the flow team?
I did meet Gio. Yeah, yeah.
He lives
He
here.
lives here? Oh,
Yeah.
nice. That's cool. Have y'all like hung out or anything?
We hang out last year when I came for the last Flow Hacker House. So yeah, he's a pretty cool guy.
Nice. Yeah, yeah, he is cool. Yeah, that's awesome to have like people from Flow like in there. And yeah, Denver is like a good like, crypto city. The team you're working on, or they're like, are you working with? Are they like here in Denver? Is that
Yeah,
why?
they are in the studio. Their studio.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
uh, they are here from Denver. Yeah, the local.
So
Uh,
what do they do? Or I actually don't know too much about like.
so it's funny. It's basically like a printing shop. For art. So
Yeah.
people come in. Um, they want to scan their piece of art. Because we have like a huge scanner that is like the top of the technology, bro. This shit has like light all over the place and it has a like a program that, bro, it's so funny. This program, you look at the UI of the program that controls the scanning machine, and it looks like it looks like Doom, bro. It looks like the AI from the 80s or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But it's so powerful, man.
Oh,
It's like
really? Really?
it's that's why it's so bad because it's so powerful that they don't care about the UI. They know that you're gonna use it anyway. So
Yeah.
the thing allows you to like control all the lights. Sometimes during the scan, it turns some of them on and some of them off.
Oh, that's cool, actually.
Many angles, so you get
Yeah.
all the lights and shadows around every the object, so that we can 3D
Wow.
print them on when on demand, basically.
That's cool. Yeah.
So
Wow.
an artist comes to us, they scan their piece, they have to pay for that. We put it on our marketplace online, and someone wants to buy, we print 3D copy, we ship it to them, we get a percentage of the sale. And the artist gets a percentage of the sale. Everybody
That's
wins.
cool.
So we put up, so that's the Web 2 version, right? And now
Yeah, yeah.
we want to transition into Web 3, and we want to put chips inside the pieces of art, the paintings.
Yeah.
And these chips are gonna hold an ID, and they're gonna serve certificates of authentication. So basically, we're gonna put an NFT inside that account, the ID of the chip, and we're gonna track ownership on chain, right? And
Oh,
we're gonna
nice.
and we're
Yeah.
gonna and we're gonna track provenance of the piece of art and also feedback sentiment. Like since it has a chip already, when you put your piece of art in a gallery or an event, people can just put their phone next to it, scan it, it takes you to a website.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
We track how many views it has, how many shares, how many likes, how many purchases, and that's
Yeah,
a lot of that's very valuable information for artists. They know how
for
their
sure.
art is doing out there, who has bought what, where is their art, or who, or how much people are reselling them for.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just information that's really good for them. So that's what it's called, art drop. I'm currently
yeah.
building the website so that it works with Web3. We're building it on Flow. And you're probably gonna hear about us
Amazing.
soon.
I'm gonna look at. So, is there a website right now that I can look at, or is it just like
Yeah,
I should
it's
wait
right
till?
now it's called artdrop.me. Um, it's a Shopify website, so you can buy
Oh,
art.
okay, so you can go and buy art on there.
It's 3D printed art, but it
Yeah,
it doesn't have it's not an NFT, and it's not
yeah, 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 yeah.
you know doesn't have a chip.
Wow. So this is pretty. So like when it's a picture, how do you still 3D print it, or is it that just like
Bro,
a
let me
high
show you,
quality?
man. When it's a picture, it's a lot. It's a lot of work. When it's a picture, it's a lot of work because you gotta like elevate it, right? You gotta do some voodoo magic that I don't understand right now, but I will because I'm kind of learning. And
Yeah, yeah,
and
no, you're right.
and you basically create texture, 3D texture for the picture, right? There are many techniques to achieve this, but the point is that you get a very good quality. I'm looking for one picture that I did, um, that they did recently. They took a photograph of a mountain and elevated it. So this bloody picture, man, where is it? Can't find it.
Mm.
But well,
Sounds pretty cool
oh,
though.
I got it.
Sounds great.
There we go. So look at this. I will send it to you. You probably see that, and maybe when I'm editing this video, I can just put the picture on the thing.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Basically, this is a picture, a photograph of a mountain, right? And then
Yeah.
they added texture to it
Wow, that's
with the
awesome.
3D printing effect,
Wow, that's crazy.
and it it doesn't look as good but when I send you the picture, you'll see the quality of it. It's like, man, you can
Super
see
high quality.
the depth of it. Um, it's really good. It's really good.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's a level of quality that you just don't get out there.
Yeah, yeah,
And you give people the ability to, like if we want to build it for the small artists, for the community artists, for people that cannot afford to replicate their art or put it out there and sell, and want to build a community around that. So it's very good for them to be able to just bring the piece of art, we scan it, we put it on a website, and people can just buy it from their website, and we print it and ship it for that, and they're selling that art without having to paint it again, and having to
yeah.
buy all of those resources again and go through the work, and they can get creative from and work on something else. It's a very beneficial for them.
Yeah, this is cool. I'm looking at the website. It's really cool. Like I'm
Yeah.
looking at like the art and stuff, and
That website is very, honestly, it's not. I'm not gonna even say what I think it is, but it's not
okay,
good.
it's
I'm
not great.
building
Okay,
something better
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
it's
It'll be
just
great.
not what we want.
It'll be great. But that's cool. That seems like a really really cool idea. I like that. I think there's a lot of things you can do with. It's kind of like real world assets, right? Like
Yeah,
underneath. So there's I think there's just a lot of benefits in being able to like exchange with. Yeah, I don't even want to call them NFTs. They could be NFTs. They could be anything.
we don't want to
But
call them NFT because
yeah,
just it has a bad rap
I
now.
know because it has a bad rap. Yeah, but it's just a token, whatever. That's just kind of keeping track of this.
A smart certificate of authentication.
Yeah, and it's open, so anyone can see it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think this is probably the future. I think if it like for like your project for sure, and like other anything in kind of like tokenizing, because I just think it's more efficient and better. There's an incremental step upgrade over what it is today. And I really think there's probably value there. I don't know 100% because I'm not in any kind of supply chain at all. I do have some work in semiconductor supply chain, but that's probably if that ever goes on chain, that would be like when this whole stuff is like matured, and that shit is really fucking complicated. But I do think, yeah, I do think like there's benefits for sure in bringing art, anything of value on chain where you can transact and keep track of it. That's huge publicly.
And Flow is particularly perfect for this kind of things, like translating real world assets, or just using it as a database where you can just store information that is good to have public and transparent and accessible. Is very good for that. I I had a question and I got distracted saying that. I hate when that happened.
Yeah, yeah, no problem.
Oh,
Um,
the physical thing. Oh, that I think we are pretty ahead right now as builders. Like we already know smart contract programming language. We know about the space. I really feel like in 4 years, a lot of things are going to be blockchain. You know, you're just having this PayPal stable coin already out
yeah,
there,
yeah,
stuff like that. A lot of things are going to move to blockchain just because it's the logical thing. Why are companies like Disney or NBA building these NFT collections or just collectible apps
yeah,
on chain? Because it's cheaper to keep a huge data set of
for sure.
moments of people of data on
Yeah,
chain than to pay an AWS server or whatever to
yeah,
hold all of that, and have your own physical structure around and then keep it, maintain it. You know, comes a hurricanes, wipes it out. You better have three more around the country or the world. You know, it just makes logical sense to actually put it on chain, and
it does.
it's just from a security and financial standpoint. You know,
I think so. Like it's definitely gonna like. I mean, I see it in DeFi. Like these protocols are just so much more efficient than banks. They're doing the same thing banks are doing. They're doing lending, they're doing liquidity, whatever else. They're doing the same thing that banks are doing. They're just doing it a lot more efficiently because there's no middleman. And if there is a middleman, they show you exactly what percentage they're taking, and it's a very small percent compared to what banks are doing. So like, it just
yeah.
makes sense that like finance is just like the most obvious implementation of that. But like, I do think it'll reach into markets, like real markets of real goods, because it's just efficient. And I think it makes more sense to do it on chain than everybody having their own private thing, because then they all have to work together. I think it will just have inherent benefits, but it might take a while because you gotta get companies that put things on chain. That's
Yeah.
like the hard part.
You have to
So
teach me all the little secrets on how to succeed in DeFi.
I mean, honestly, right now, like the yields are so good on that. I mean, I don't trust that many coins. Like most of my stuff is just ETH, Bitcoin, and just USD because like it's wild out there, and
Did you hear
I don't
about
like
that?
having too much of going crazy. Even ETH enough, I'm like, God damn, hopefully it goes back up
I
at some
mean,
point.
everything is going to shit, man. In the market, everything.
Yeah.
We live in wild times. Do you read about the trade on Uniswap of these guys just swapping like $200,000 of stable coins and getting hacked for like 180,000 or something like that?
No, no, I haven't seen that. Yeah, that's
That happened on I think on Uniswap on Ethereum, like, or I don't know, some EVM chain, probably Ethereum. They were just like swapping on like a huge amount of stable coins. And then I guess the node operators saw that huge transaction and they kind of like reorganized the blocks in a way that they could devalue the one of the stable coins before that his transaction.
oh
So
shit.
he gave $200,000 in I don't know USDC and got $20,000 in USDT, something
Oh,
like that.
shit. Is that something with the MEV? Was that something about the MEV, or was that a different? I think I saw some like MEV stuff on Twitter, but I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that is crazy though. But yeah, that's kind of the risk of all the crypto stuff. It's like you just kind of makes like you kind of have to trust the protocols.
I
At
mean,
least,
that's only on ABN stuff and
yeah,
protocols like that. That doesn't happen on Flow.
true. I know. Yeah, I do trust Flow. I mean, the fact that like I know the team, I know they're like very secure. They're very smart. Like the engineers are really smart. So,
That is really
um,
true. That they're
yeah,
all like top tier.
yeah, yeah, they are. Yeah, so I trust the chain in general. So I'm more comfortable because yeah, now most of my USD coin is in stable because it's just making such a good like you can't like 40% APY and it's gone down and it will probably
It was like
eventually.
an 80 a month ago.
Yeah, I know, and that was wild. Like it's
That
good.
was like so suspicious. That was kind of my problem with the platform. It was like,
Well, they're just pumping. They have rewards that they're pumping into it. Eventually, it'll end. It's not like a stable a way to get APY over a long term, but it's a way to bring a lot of TVL on chain because a
yeah,
lot of people are going to come and get that
yeah,
APY, and then
yeah.
eventually it'll eventually cool down. But it is good to get like because the bigger the TVL, the more coins you have, the less risk you have in just someone being able to manipulate the market. And
Right.
they need, why they need that? They need stable kitty because they're getting Stargate USDC. Do you know what
Mhm.
Stargate USDC?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
They
know, so
already have it there. They already have it on the
Stargate.
platform. Yeah.
Yeah, so like USDC is coming in through Stargate USDC, and they need a way to transfer that to USDF. So that's all like the DeFi. So they really do need that. Which I think I mean, they got like I don't know a lot, 10
I mean,
million,
they they
15
they
million or something.
they were at the castle and they met the floating. I think they met with Luke, and
I know.
they
I
talk.
wanted to meet him, but I didn't see him.
I
Uh,
didn't know. I don't see it. I mean, they don't want
yeah,
to be doxed or whatever.
that's fine. Yeah, that's
I
fine.
guess. Fine.
Yeah, whatever. Like, I mean, I think they're kind of killing it. They got a lot of TVL and stuff. So do what you got to do. But
Exactly.
yeah,
I hope everything is all right. I hope everything's good. I will try to put more than $20 on it next time.
yeah. It's pretty good. That's a good way to start with DeFi. I don't really have any other. I do a Bitcoin Ethereum pool,
I want to.
a liquidity pool in
Yeah.
Arbitrum, and I think it pays like 12 to 16%, something like that. So that's pretty decent. I just like to keep. But that's the thing is when Bitcoin goes up, you like kind of. I got last time I put it half and half, and then when I took it out to readjust, like it was all ETH because Bitcoin had gone up and ETH had gone down. But at least I did tamper some of my losses because of that. But then I halved it out again and put it back in. So I do a liquidity pool on that to get some APY. But those are like my two big things right now. So I'm not like a super user, but I do try to get some yield out there. I'm trying to get some yield. I'm happy
Have you
with free
tried
money.
more markets?
So I was going to try more markets, but now it says it's not available in your region in the US, which I yeah yeah, which I could go use a VPN, but I don't know. That's just one hurdle too many for me. I'm doing all right with what I got, but I will maybe when I go outside of the US. I do want to use them because they're doing
Yeah.
lending APYs.
They're doing what?
They're lending APYs, which means they're giving you money to lend to borrow money. Yeah, I mean, you have to
uh,
pay your APY on that, but it's not as much as
I'm
it's
gonna
not as
check it
much as
out. I got
you
a
should.
VPN. I got a
Yeah,
VPN.
yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I think a lot of money poured in, like 4 million. So their TVL exploded,
Oh, really?
which is pretty good,
Did you
which is pretty great because that is cool.
dude, that is
So,
one of the best.
yeah,
Yeah, pretty cool
so
guy. He's
yeah, he's
Patrick
so
is
smart
really,
too, dude.
yeah, Patrick is
He
really
knows
smart.
DeFi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I
That's what
love
I'm saying. Like you're talking to me about DeFi. There's guys like that out there. Like I was like, bro, he just blew my mind on like the stuff you could
I
do out
love
there.
how he went on Dora Hacks and he just like explained what he's doing in the simplest way. It's just like
Yeah, I know.
a drawing that
Looping.
he made on PowerPoint,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and that's it. This is
yeah,
what we're doing. You borrow your money, you lend against it, you borrow again.
yeah. You're using yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I'd
that's it.
never
It's
heard
an
of that,
infinite
but
loop.
it's a leverage. Like you're just leveraging your money, and people do it. Like it's the thing. So yeah, with the stable kitty, it's been good enough that I don't need to exploit that. But at some point, I probably will when those rewards go away.
Yeah,
So,
I will definitely check out more markets. Um,
yeah,
soon. I sometimes I
yeah,
feel like I don't know what to do with flow. Like with I have some flow on my wallet, whatever. Like what should I do with that?
yeah. What do you think? What do I think you should do?
Yeah.
Oh, I think okay. I think you should go to Stable Kitty and
Stable kitty. De
yeah,
una.
I know, not even say you could either do like just a regular kitty punch, and you could do like a half flow, half whatever they have ETH. You can do ETH, half flow, half ETH. You can do flow USDF if you want. There's
Yeah.
different pools, and they all pay like 30 to 50%. So you don't have to do. You actually you get better yields on ETH flow than you do on StableKitty. But StableKitty is nice because you don't have to deal with the fluctuations of the prices
Right.
of cryptocurrency. Yeah, they're both cool. I have money in both of them too. Um, that's what I would do if I had some extra, or I did have some that are just floating around. I was like, "All right, I'm gonna put them into a pool
Yeah, I have
just to make something on them."
some flow around. Some flow. I wish I could just buy CryptoKitties with it because that is addictive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I never got into. I played it a little bit, but I was like busy. But do you still play it?
I mean, I just started. Like, I got
Yeah.
two CryptoKitties, and I was gonna breed them, but it's on Ethereum and it costs for like $50. I'm
Oh
like,
shit.
"Wait, I think so. I'm not sure. I should try it again. Maybe it was because
Yeah,
of gas, but I try.
yeah,
I was trying to try it at one time. It was like $50, 15. Sorry, $15, and I wasn't. I didn't have them. I didn't even have the $15 in Ethereum. So
yeah.
I
Just
wish
as
they
I
could
couldn't do it.
figure out a way to bridge the crypto on Ethereum with Flow EVM because that would just blow. I would pour money on that for sure.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But anyways, man, I really should probably take off because I think they're gonna be here pretty soon.
All right, man. Thank you so much
Dude,
for
yeah,
your time.
this was so fun. Honestly, like recording or not, we could just record another one, but we should definitely catch up. Like,
Yeah, man. Anytime. We could just.
yeah, it's because like it's good talking to someone. Not a lot of people have like kind of knowledge of what we know about.
Yeah.
It is good talking, and I want to hear about like how your company goes and stuff like that. That art drop and that integration. That's cool.
Funny.
Cool,
Thank you
man.
so
All
much, man.
right,
See you
all right.
again.
I'll
Have
talk
a
to you
great
later.
day.
Yeah,
Take
yeah,
care.
you too. Peace.
Right.